As a young man, John L. Spencer was told he couldn't become a Marine for the sole reason that he was black. That's until one executive order brought change to the military. 90 Sign digital reporter Kayla Schmidt shares his story.
What made me want to join the Marine Corps was I wanted to get into the war, and they told me that I couldn't be a Marine.
In June of 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt issued an executive order establishing the Fair Employment Practices Commission. That decision banned discriminatory employment practices by federal agencies, unions, and companies involved in World War II. Roosevelt's order also led to change in the military.
When I went to Raleigh, they told me I could be. So that's what I wanted. I wanted the Marine Corps, and that's what I got.
On August 26, 1942, the first African-American recruits entered the United States Marine Corps. Their training site was Montford Point, a corner of land jutting out into the New River near Camp Lejeune. The black men arriving here were in the service, but things were far from equal.
Those Marines came right here to Camp Montford Point in North Carolina. They were trained in segregation from their counterparts, the Caucasian Marines.
Smiley is the director of the National Museum of the Montford Point Marines. She says at the time, black Marines' only duties in battle were carrying ammunition to their white counterparts and operating anti-aircraft guns. It wasn't how black Marines wanted to serve their country, but they carried on.
Time goes on. They don't wait for anybody. And being like it was, it had to either go forward or go backward. So, our case, it went forward.
John L. Spencer was one of the Montford Point Marines who paved the way for future generations of the black troops in the Corps.
To perseverance, we made it over.
Their first taste of battle came in 1945. 2,000 recruits from Montford Point were among the 20,000 strong Marine force involved in the invasion of Okinawa. That's where black Marines first joined white Marines on the combat line, pressing the fight against the Japanese.
It means that you overcome the stigma that you wasn't good as anybody else, that you couldn't fight. It showed that you had just as much ambition and you were just as much mean enough to fight as they were.
On July 26, 1948, President Harry S. Truman issued an executive order establishing equality of treatment and opportunity in the U.S. military regardless of race.
The country was in trouble, and it took every one of us together to get it out of trouble.
The Navy Department decommissioned the Montford Point segregated camp in September of 1949.
It is such a wonderful thing that they did because people like me, a young black girl from Mobile, Alabama, could come behind them and stand on their shoulders.
Spencer has a simpler view. He was doing his duty.
It made me feel good to have survived that.
For Veterans Voices, I'm Kayla Schmidt.
And to see more veteran stories, just visit our website, WNCT.com. Click Features, then Veterans Voices. You can also watch the recent 30-minute special we presented about stories with the men and women in our military who have served and sacrificed.